Hello and welcome to Stride by Stride. I'm Martin.
I'm Josh.
And welcome to the fifth episode of... I almost got that wrong, didn't I?
Almost.
Oh, this is a good start.
This is a great start.
Fifth episode of Stride by Stride. Today we're going to be talking with our very special guest, who we'll introduce very shortly. We're going to be talking about London Marathon coming up.
London, next weekend.
Manchester. We'll review your experience at Newport, which we'll talk about later, and we've got a special on that. And we'll also talk about Club Championship and Emerson's week.
Yep. Yeah. And also we need to talk about our exciting new competition.
We've got a competition, haven't we?
Yep.
Okay, we'll introduce that later. Okay. I'm looking forward to this. On the trail, I'm just going to ask someone to hold my microphone a moment. So, what have you been up to this week, Josh?
Lots of different things. Led at club on Thursday even, and resting.
Okay.
So,
great. And
podcasting material.
Sounds like a good week. That does.
And yourself?
Yeah, I went out on a couple of runs. I did a 3x3. 3 minutes times 3. So that
all
was,
the threes.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was a good session. But you work your way up through the gears in each 3 minute set. So you do like a 3 minute at, sort of like marathon pace, then half marathon pace, then 5k pace. Okay. You work your way up through it, and you do that 3 times. Quite a nice session.
Shall we introduce the guest?
Yeah, that's a good idea. You go ahead.
So this week we have a special guest, and it's Abbie. Hello. Welcome, Abbie.
Thank you.
And today we are in Snuff Mills, and we are going to do a nice easy 4 mile loop-ish, 2 loops. Okay. And we're going to chat to Abbie all about her running life.
Yeah. Right, should we get running?
Yeah.
Let's go running then. Okay. We've got to go through a puddle first. You've ushered us this way. Yeah. So, Abbie, you're a proud member of Emerson's Green Running Club, and thanks for joining us today. I haven't started my watch either. I just I'm
just doing that as well.
Otherwise, this didn't exist, did it?
Already got one of them.
Was it your choice to run with Emerson's? Where did that originate from?
I'd actually run a little bit with Emerson's. Within the first couple of years of the club starting, my parents and my sister actually ran with the club, and I used to come along every now and again. But then I stopped running because I got injured, and every time I came back I got injured again, so I figured maybe it wasn't for me. Left it for a while, but then eventually, after having kids and getting FOMO, seeing people running, and I will probably say my brother-in-law actually, I decided to start running again. So I joined This Mum Runs, who are now This Woman Runs. And then when we moved back to Emerson's Green, me, Simon and Eric at the time, he joined Emerson's Green, and then I joined not long after.
Wow.
So you're an injury, and you're at that point where you thought, okay, well, how can I continue doing this? What kind of got you past that? I mean, other than that fear of missing out, was it kind of, what did you do to recover?
Well, first thing was, it's quite simple. I just got a decent pair of shoes. I'd been running in just any old pair of trainers. God, you've got me going up a hill now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that could have been more profanity. I'm just very impressed that we kept it as clean as we did. We're just going to cross the road. So yeah, so some decent shoes.
Decent shoes.
Get your dap sorted.
Resistance, because when you start running, everything hurts actually. Yeah. So I don't want to say run through it, because if you've got an injury, you shouldn't. But just realising that between each run, I needed to do a bit of rest and stretching, and then go again, and eventually a few muscles build up and what have you. I would lie and say I've done strength exercises, but I haven't.
No.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, strength is something that I think a lot of people put to one side, don't they?
Yeah.
We know we need to do it.
We just don't.
It's getting it done, isn't it?
Yeah.
And God, you know, all the time I go into a new training cycle, think, oh, I'm going to get on top of the strength this time. Do it twice, and then it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, I've got to get a habit down. So, but trainers, interestingly, that can make a real big difference, because I think you said your main problem was like shin splints, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I do still get them a little bit every now and again if I go a bit overzealous with how much running I'm doing, or if I do some sprinting.
Yeah. Probably like an overstride or something like that, isn't it? Sometimes as well.
I've actually done it this week. I did some hill sprints. Yes, hills.
Wow.
Did you do that with that evil Josh?
No, I did it on my own.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
Self-inflicted.
It was, yeah. So I've got a little bit of pain in my shin, but again, I just rest in whatever. And when I actually run, it doesn't hurt. It's when I walk.
Right, yeah.
Okay. We won't let you walk today.
Not even the hills?
Not even the
No.
hills.
Oh God.
Oh, nearly.
Yeah, we're trying our best, aren't we? Yeah, I suppose, actually, do you know what? I think probably it's good opportunity to talk about our competition, isn't it, Josh?
Yes.
Because I was just there thinking, perhaps we ought to change it to how many times does Abbie swear in an episode of our
Yeah,
podcast,
I think that'd be
but-
too easy for the listeners.
I don't swear.
No, yeah, we're being all right.
Yeah.
You're on your best behaviour.
But we are only a couple of minutes into the run.
No. But it just came into my brain. It's like, oh, that would have been a good idea. No, it's so we have got a place on Plain Crazy to give away to one of our lucky listeners. And Plain Crazy is a 12-ish miles of trail, hilly, desolate.
Yep.
Sounds,
Something.
It sounds
Abbie
lovely.
would love it.
I'm there.
And it's in December, isn't it?
It's in the 28th of December. It's an event run by our friends over at Redfish events, and they have kindly given us a place to give away. So what we want you to do is predict how many times we will say running or runner in our next podcast, which will be filmed, recorded on the 27th of 26th of
26,
April.
next Saturday.
And then if you can get your entries into us by, say, the 4th of May, and then what we'll do is we'll announce the winner on one of our future podcasts.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Sounds brilliant.
So where have they got to send it, Josh?
We've got to send it to Stride by Stride at Stride by Stride podcast
Yes.
at gmail.com.
Stride by Stride podcast at gmail.com. Excellent.
And then we will pick a winner, and you'll get a free prize.
You're going to enter, Abbie?
Oh,
Go on,
probably just because I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah.
do it.
Glutton for punishment. Okay, right. Here we are. We're going to talk about Dorrington Hard Half Marathon. So, famously, our listeners will know, because we've talked about Dorrington quite a lot. You have done it twice, and the first time you did it, you got the golden trainer, and you're the only person we know that got a golden trainer.
Yeah, amazing.
I think there was lots of swearing that went on,
a little
a bit
bit.
of falling over in mud, but why again?
Well, according to the actual trophy, it's for guts, gumption, spirit, and spunk.
Okay,
And I think it's
that
probably made
sounds like you.
Yeah, well, really, I thought it was more because I was moaning, falling over, and they just felt sorry for me and thought, we better give it something. So yeah, I guess that's why I got it. I don't really know.
No. You got it because you're everything the club represents.
I mean, it was definitely a hard race.
Yeah.
Those first like 5k, the hills are monstrous. In fact, they're monstrous all over. But yeah, I like the streams, I like the mud. Marshals are brilliant. So in a way, it's one of those that I suppose I went back for the second time because I had unfinished business with it because I didn't feel I did amazing the first time. And yeah, I'm just how they say, put for punishment.
But you really enjoy it though, don't you?
Honestly, no.
Is it type two fun? Which is like when you're doing it, oh, this is awful, and afterwards, oh, that was quite good.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of it, yeah, I do enjoy. I like going through the streams, I like the mud. Again, the marshals are brilliant, and everyone's so supportive. But it's hard.
Yeah.
I very much have a love-hate relationship with running, especially when there's hills involved. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, but no, also I didn't.
Yeah, that fine line between love and hate then.
Pleasure and pain complex, isn't it? It's a continuum. You could be anywhere on there at any moment in any run, couldn't you? Which is, I love this, but I also hate it in equal measure. Josh, what's your go-to return race that you thought, actually, do you know what? I bloody hated that, but I'm going to give it another go.
It's not too many, I don't think, where I seriously hate them. I think my favourite run has got to be the Chew Valley 10k.
Right, okay.
And the reason I love it so much...
You and Andrew really are the same person, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two reasons I love it. Firstly, there's a massive hill in it, and on the way down to the finish line, I feel a bit like Ian Leonard. Must feel. And secondly, the second reason I like it is the medal and the t-shirt are designed by the school kids.
Oh, that's quite cute, isn't it?
And I just think that is a really nice idea.
Yes.
And I like to support those sort of different ideas. So yeah.
Have you seen the t-shirt for this year?
No, I haven't.
It's got a cow on it.
Oh, Billy will love that.
You love it.
Well, I'm also, where do they get their ideas from, I wonder? Having a cow on the t-shirt.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I don't know who else would put a cow on their t-shirt.
I don't know.
But you know, there are no fresh ideas, but there is fresh inspiration. So thank you, Chew Valley, for getting inspiration from Joint and Hard Half for your new t-shirt.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes. So this kind of position you find yourself in, where you know there are occasions where it's difficult to determine whether you're loving the run, hating the run. Is that frequent or is it infrequent?
Oh, it's frequent. I think every run I go through a whole mix of emotions of this is amazing, I'm going to sign up for a marathon, to what the bleeping heck am I doing with my life? Why am I running? It's awful. To get into the end, and when I get to the end of the run, I practice that I'm actually at the end of the race and everyone's there cheering me, so then I go, like, I do quite well again.
Yeah.
So yeah, whole mix of emotions for me.
Plus, what I'd like to ask you is, what's it like, because obviously you're a full-time mum, so what's it like training for these races with two youngish children?
Well, as you know, I've got Simon who also comes to club.
Yes.
So we very much tag team. So when it comes to club nights, we tend to take it in turns. So when one of us comes to club, the other one's doing bedtime with the kids. And we tend to have this rule that whoever does Monday night also gets to do Thursday night.
Okay.
Obviously we're flexible and change around, but
Yeah.
that's what we tend to stick to. And then for our long runs on a weekend, a bit different because Simon's doing marathon training at the moment, but we each take a day. So I do Saturday, and he does Sunday. Or we just, time it when, I don't know, Eric's at Beavers, or late in the evening when the kids are in bed, or early mornings,
Nice.
lunchtimes, that kind of thing.
So
it's a bit of a team, really.
yeah, that's nice, isn't it? So just like your marriage, bit of teamwork to make the dream work.
Exactly.
And also, it must be kind of nice because obviously Simon is part of the club, but it must be nice to have a husband who runs as well, so you can sort of chat. Does that sort of help, or does that create competition between the pair of you, or how does the dynamics work there?
A little bit of competition, I would say.
Yeah,
Healthy competition. Because, you know, I'm never going to be as fast as him or whatever, but we're both got strengths in our own ways.
I mean, just say the word and me and Martin we could trip him up, maybe slow him down.
I don't think we can.
Maybe after a while, I think, because he's never forgiven me.
Okay,
Yeah.
we don't mean it, Simon, you're amazing.
Also, I think up now, we're at that point where I don't know what we talk about if we didn't both run.
Good point.
Kids, not running. What else is there?
Well, I don't know.
Holidays.
Holidays, or other options. Do you feel like actually having someone else in the household who is involved in running or training block kind of keeps you accountable? You're being honest to your plan because you've got someone else who's kind of living it as well?
Yeah, so because we ask each other what are you supposed to be doing when, and we kind of do it around each other. I suppose if I suddenly go, man, I can't be bothered to run today, someone might go, ooh, are you sure? Because I'm supposed to be running tomorrow. So
It's just going to put everyone out of sync.
yeah.
Keeps you honest.
So it's like, oh, actually, I suppose I better then.
Yeah,
Um,
that's nice.
and it's not like I want to run, it's just sometimes, you know, after a long day, you get home and think, just want to set the pace up.
Yeah,
But you enjoy it when you get out there, don't you?
absolutely, yeah. It is really good medicine.
Do you ever do sorry, rephrase that. Would you ever consider, like within your kind of work life, kind of doing things like like running lunches or anything like that? Or
I've done them when I'm working from home, so it's just me,
yeah,
and I've done it with Simon, so if we wear a run together. I'd like to at work,
yeah.
but when I mention running, most people go, ooh, what's wrong with you? So
Well, here's the list of the things
Yeah.
that are wrong with
Yeah.
me.
yes,
But
Where would you like me to start?
but actually, that doesn't diagnose me with anything apart from the fact that I'm a runner.
Yeah,
so I think I might be not quite got the right audience yet.
Right. Josh, do you do lunches?
bit difficult with my job, but I am starting on a new regime
Oh,
that you said
Is it?
about,
there's a new dictator in, is there?
about double runs.
Oh,
So I'm
yes.
actually on a double run today.
Oh yeah. Double run. I love a double run.
I know you do, so I thought I'd try it today.
Yeah, I spoke about it when you interviewed me, and that's one thing, because I'm not working at the moment. I don't tend to do many doubles because I'd normally run to work and run home.
Yeah.
So I'm not really doing those at the moment. But it's cool. They'll come back. They'll be part of my training block at some point.
Well, now I'm not in a training block and I want to enjoy my running again.
Yeah.
I thought I'd give it a go.
Okay. How you getting on?
So far, so good.
Great. Excellent.
Obviously a bit difficult this week because we have no bathroom. So washing is a bit tricky.
So it's fragrant in your household then.
Well, we're not dirty or anything, it's just, yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say you're taking.
Yeah.
Abbie, you really want to get Abbie swearing on the film.
I'm
You're
so
about to
sorry
take up
about
a big hill.
Well, actually, I'm finding it a bit harder than last week.
Why? What happened last
What
week?
happened last week,
Oh,
haven't
I don't know. Are we not allowed to mention it?
Oh, we can.
I think we can because it's funny.
Really?
Go on, Abbie. Share with our listeners the stupidity of your hosts.
I did a lovely run with Josh and Martin last week.
It was amazing.
Nice weather, sunny, felt good. Got to the end and Martin went, oh,
Ooh.
I think we've only recorded a minute. And we realised we hadn't recorded the whole run,
Even that.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are definitely recording, aren't we, Martin?
We are, yeah, I hope. But certainly when I put it away, we were totally recording, and I didn't do any of the stupid things that I identified that I did last week. So,
Okay.
so that's good.
It's a learning curve for us,
Well,
isn't it?
yeah, well, everyone's human.
Yep.
So,
Even us.
Yeah. What would you say? Yeah, we can do
Yeah,
that.
you can walk.
What would you rank as probably your biggest achievement today in the running world? That is, because obviously, you know, everything personal side. You know, what would you say is your running panacea? That's the word I wanted.
Sounds like a cake.
It is. I'm just trying to be clever.
Okay.
Maybe I want to say a PB in the half marathon which I got last year, but actually maybe just doing my first one.
Okay.
Because when I used to run when I was younger, I did much more like sprinting in long distance, and I really only ever ran up to about 10k before I joined club.
Okay.
And if anyone ever said to me half marathon or marathon, I'd scoff at them and go, "Well, no way."
Yeah. What, me?
Yeah.
Never.
But my mum actually got quite seriously unwell not long after I went back to work, actually, after having Amelia.
Okay.
And she had GBS, so I can't say it.
Okay.
Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Okay.
Good pronunciation.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
And what does that mean?
It's when your immune system attacks the nerves of your body.
Oh, wow.
So I actually thought she was having a stroke when I saw her. She'd gone to hospital a few times.
Yep.
So I took her back and refused to leave the hospital until a neurologist saw her, and then they diagnosed her. She was very, very lucky because she was close to having to go to ICU from not being able to breathe properly. So anyway, she's made a full recovery. I decided that I would do a half marathon so that I could raise money
Wow.
for a charity called Gain UK.
Oh, good for you.
For that, and I did Cardiff in 2023 and raised just over £1,000.
Wow, that's
great.
amazing.
Fantastic.
That's one of the things I really love about meeting new people and talking to them about, you know, different things that drive them to do things that they thought they may or may not be able to do.
Yeah.
It's I find it really interesting.
Yeah, we've often talked about motivators, haven't we, Josh? And
We have.
you know, whether it's intrinsic, extrinsic, you know, and what we've got there is a mixture of intrinsic and extrinsic kind of motivator, which is that, yeah, I want to do this internally because of this external thing, you know, and getting out of your seat and,
Yeah.
you know, getting motivated. You think, okay, well, I'm giving something back here, and I guess that was probably quite powerful for you in your training and also the run, Abbie.
Yeah, well, so I suppose when I actually was doing the running, I was thinking, bloody hell, this is hard. Oh God, I just swore.
Well, very, very mild one.
This is hard now. I think it's not hard up to what my mum went through last year, or even what I felt last year when she was ill.
Yeah.
So just got to do it. I was quite lucky with sponsorship as well, because I actually worked in the same sort of service as my mum.
Right.
Okay.
So a lot of my colleagues knew her, so were more than willing to kind of support.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
So,
It does make a difference.
Yeah.
and I have emailed the charity again and said, if you've got any London Marathon places for 26,
Wow, this is
I'll do it.
This
Wow.
is a step up.
this
Bear
is a
in
step
mind-
up.
I don't want to do a marathon,
No.
and I don't think I want to do any other. So it's like, if I'm going to do one, I'll do that one, and maybe I'll do it for them again.
Wow, that's
We'll see.
this is breaking news.
Yeah. But you know, a little birdie tells me that actually this isn't the biggest challenge
No.
that you kind of have set yourself.
No, it's not.
A little birdie being actually the fact that we did this last week and didn't.
Oh yeah, we did. Forgot all about that.
We did what?
Yeah.
did
So
what?
so actually, you know, you were going to do something which I identify with, which was that you're going to take a leap, aren't you? Like you're going to step up a distance beyond a marathon.
Yeah, I'm going to leap over it.
Yes,
You are.
I love this.
There
Tell
will be
us.
no leaping involved. I'm not a mountain goat.
No.
I have signed up for Southwest Coast 50k ultramarathon in August.
Fantastic.
This is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the route and where it starts from?
So
What
it
you know?
starts from Dunster Castle in Minehead. It's a big old loop near Butlins along the coast. Obviously along the Southwest Coast path, which I think is the start of the Southwest Coast path. Into some woodland. So it's a bit of a multi-terrain.
Yeah.
And then back into Dunster Castle for the finish.
Sounds fantastic.
Very picturesque finish. You know, lovely place to start and finish from. And what was the inspiration behind that?
I don't know. I think I felt good when I was doing my training for Gloucester Half. And I've been thinking, oh, should I do a marathon? And I'd looked at Loch Ness.
Yep.
And then decided against it. And then I actually don't know. I just started looking at ultras and I found that one. I love the sea. I like looking out at the coast.
Yeah.
As kids, when we went camping, we used to walk over the coast, Coastal Path. So it looked like the one I would enjoy the most. So
I think that would be an excellent one for you to start on. Obviously, because last week we spoke about it, but if things don't work out the way you want, you could drop back into the walking session.
yeah, so they have runners, joggers, and walkers. So I've put myself in the jogging category. So if I'm struggling at any point, or I need to walk, I'm not going to be left at the back.
No.
Because there are people who are fully walking it, so there will always be someone behind me. So yeah, that was kind of why I picked that one as well. But it's not just all your fast experienced runners.
And it's
a
got
bit of everyone.
good aid stations,
Yeah,
I hear, which is very important.
I think they have people doing massages, got lovely food.
Well, just go
Fuel.
along for that.
Yeah.
I better not actually have one, otherwise I might leave again.
No.
We'll see. So, oh, what? I've got to run now.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So you guys for the running? No. No.
No, I've done 5k, I've had enough now.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was just a park run.
Yeah.
A typo. I thought it was a typo.
Yeah.
When you put the 0 on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit crazy. We do 50k.
Yeah. I spoke my coach John Cox at John Cox Coach Cox Runs, I should say.
Ooh.
He said that challenges are often easier to do if you've got some sort of thing that you identify with on it, like some personal connection. Is there a particular personal connection with this race, or is it just something that you thought, do you know what, I fancy that? That sounds like a nice race.
I actually did the Minehead Park run there. Either last year or the year before, I can't remember.
Okay.
And there was all these bunch of runners that came along with all their, equipment. And here, I thought, what are they doing? They can't be here for the park run. They were doing the ultra that I've just signed up for.
Amazing.
And one of them, or a group of them, sat down and had a picnic. And I was like, that's the type of running I want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's lots of kind of discussion around ultra being just a big walking picnic.
It is.
Um,
You're not a slave to your watch. You can enjoy it, unlike a road marathon.
I think for me, it's the fact that you're actually expected to walk.
Yeah, you are. You need to walk.
Yeah, I find stepping up to longer distances. I get to a certain point and I struggle, so I want to walk. But in my head, I'm going, you're not supposed to walk when you run, which I know is silly. But then ultra, it's almost everyone does it,
Yeah,
and you get to eat
yeah.
and not have those disgusting gels. So
It's
Yeah.
a great,
it seems
great day out.
Yeah, it's people don't ask like they do for a half or for a marathon. What time did you do it in? Is about, blimey, you ran that far.
Yeah,
yeah. I think a lot of people don't actually understand what an ultramarathon is.
No, I don't think
and
so.
When
Until they actually do it.
Yeah. So, but actually, it just sounds big.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
And that's people say, "Oh, that's great," not really knowing what it's about, but actually realising that actually it just sounds like a big run. That's because it is.
Yeah. And how does Simon feel about this? Obviously doing an ultra before he's done one.
He's very encouraging.
Good.
You know, he's helped me look at what plan might be best for
Oh.
so he's helped me pick out a plan. He does, as I said, we are slightly competitive. So he goes, "Oh God, you're doing an ultra before me."
Yeah.
But he's actually training for Manchester Marathon, so, and I've not done a marathon, so it's just different challenges.
Yeah, and I said about taking the jump over. That was definitely something I did a few years ago. I just had a DNF on the Buckham 56 route at the time, and I was like, oh God, being really down in the dumps, and I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 100 miles. So basically, it was like double or quits.
Yeah.
And do you know what? It works. It really works for that. So, you know, if it can work for that, it can certainly work if you've not done a marathon before. And I know lots of people who have not done marathons but have done 50Ks.
Yeah.
So, depends what you want to get out of the run, I guess.
Yeah.
So what's trail running mean to you?
I think it will be an achievement, a totally different achievement.
Absolutely. It's an amazing achievement.
Like, I'm not fussed on a time. I'm not aiming for a time. So I won't feel disappointed if I don't do it in, I don't know, whatever I think.
But whatever you do it in will be a PB.
Yeah, and it's just that it's the challenge of being able to run that far. Showing, I guess, my kids that I'm not just their mum.
Yeah.
I'm a runner.
Oh.
And I can do strong, challenging things. And that they could do that one day as well.
Absolutely. Martin always says to me, try and, what did he say?
I guess we're looking at this,
Yeah, that's what.
What was that quote you said to me about try to achieve,
You're right.
try to achieve the impossible. No, that's not right. What did you say to me? Do you remember?
I
Was
said
it
strive for the impossible because everything else is not going to motivate you or something
That's
like that.
right. Something.
Some words along that. It's not a quote I use often, otherwise
No.
I'll be able to roll it off the tongue.
No, unlike myself.
Yeah,
Something along those lines.
yeah. I mean, I
Sort
guess
of reaching for the stars.
Yeah, you've always got kind of the things that are slightly outside of reach are always the things that we should be trying to achieve, because essentially, you know, anything that's within our reach doesn't have the same value.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same value at all, and you know, and that is, you know, a few years ago, someone, I can't remember what I was doing. I was entered into a race, and someone said, "Oh, would you mind if you did some charity work on that and raise some money for it?" Now, it's a distance that I do as training runs. So, and a lot of people I know will know that I do that as training runs. So I was like, no, because for me that's not a challenge.
Yeah.
But I will raise money for you in the future, doing, you know, something that pushes me a bit. You know, because so I think people don't connect with it as much if people think, oh, that's a walk in the park for you.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's not being big-headed, that's just
No.
being realistic.
And that's something I've certainly found on my journey through running. When I get asked by my friends, would I, like on the 7th of June, Andre wants to do 50k. He said, would I join him? I was like, yeah, no worries, 50k. This, something a couple of years back, I'd be like, what? I need like 2 years preparation, not to just get up on a Saturday morning and run 50k with a friend to support him.
Yeah,
I'm not being big-headed, just how things change.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
bonkers.
Yeah, and you're about to step into the dark side, Abbie, you know, where things do get dark.
Yeah.
But actually, you know, also then you kind of changes your whole running world.
Well, I think trail running is more interesting as well.
It is.
I did a run up. I said up
Yeah.
Church Hill the other day.
That was Puckle Church, by
Yeah,
the
that
way.
was.
Yeah.
On the long one, not the short side, the actual one. And then I thought, oh, a bit of filled there, let's go and run in there. And it was totally different. Bit of greenery, some trees,
Yeah.
just a nice bit to run along. I thought, actually, this is so much nicer than running on a bit of tarmac.
Absolutely.
See, this was the issue I had with London. When I did London Marathon, I wanted to do London Marathon my entire life, you know, literally since the first time I saw it on television as a child. I'm going to run the London Marathon. And I got into it, and if I'd run it at the time when I did, I still hadn't run an ultra at that point.
Okay.
But because of COVID, I then deferred my place. And then I ran lots of ultras in the bit in between.
Yeah, you had help
So-
from Paul, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely, you know, and it got me out on the trail, and that was absolutely fantastic, you know, and, you know, sort of 5 years on, haven't looked back. But the problem was that everyone said about atmosphere, it's amazing, the sights, blah, blah, blah. Now, the sights don't work on you if you're a trail runner, because it's just grey buildings.
I don't
Yeah.
think you do even when you're a road runner.
Yeah,
I did London landmarks last year and I don't remember one landmark, apart
No.
from Big Ben because it was in my face.
but a lot of
And the
people...
same for me when I did London last year. I don't really remember the landmarks.
Landmarks, no. And I didn't, you know, and well, maybe I lived in London for a while, so maybe that didn't help. But, you know, certainly, you know, that's all grey, the scenery's all grey, and then they said the crowds, and I was like, well, I'm used to running with nobody around.
Yeah.
So I can motivate without that.
Yeah.
So it just, and I'm sad. I'm actually a little bit sad about that, because I feel that actually it didn't live up to my expectations. Maybe I just put it on a pedestal. I don't know.
I really enjoyed it last year. The only thing for me that I didn't enjoy is I really missed my running friends.
Right.
Even though I was surrounded by, I don't know, 100,000 people, whatever, from London supporting me.
Yeah, and some incredible people. Yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing. I still felt quite lonely because for
Yeah.
the 4 hours there was no one to talk to, like we are today.
Yeah.
But it is an experience that I will cherish and bore people with when I'm in a nursing home.
I mean, it would have been good practice, perhaps, maybe, because you would have been. I often talk to myself when I'm on my own on the trail, mate. It's like, yeah, just having a wee natter to myself.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, you had 2 hours, I haven't seen anyone. What am I going to talk about? Oh, let's talk about this. You know.
Abbie's going to go home and say, those two people, they're a bit
I do
crazy.
that at home. I don't need to be running something. I have arguments with myself.
Well, it's probably where you get most sense, really.
Yeah,
isn't
it is,
So,
yeah.
let's be honest. Maybe good time to talk about what's been going on at club.
Yep, so club this week, I only went on Thursday. I'm not sure what they did Monday and Tuesday, unless any of you guys went.
So I think it was Coxgrove,
Okay,
was it?
I think so. Oh, this maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I mean, Coxgrove is a good one to talk about. Nice summer route going back out, and you've got great views over the city, South Gloucestershire over towards Wales. It's a nice little, I think it's 3.5, 4.5 and a 5.5 loop for
Okay.
Coxgrove, if I remember rightly. Okay, anyway,
Okay.
sorry.
I'm not sure what they did Monday, but they would have had the run walk group. Well, I think they did an out and back on Monday.
It was out and back, yeah.
Oh, right.
I was there.
Okay,
Yeah, we did out and back towards Westerly.
nice.
20 minutes out, 19 back.
Oh, the big version.
The big one,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Thursday was a really good night. I was leading. It was a new session. It was hill sprints. And what was really nice is it was just a very small group of people. There was about 14 of us. And I set it up so it was maximum effort up the hill with a 2-minute recovery.
Okay.
And that was times 14. I need to.
Oh wow, that's a big session, mate.
Yeah. I was a little bit worried after the first 2 sprints that there was too much recovery,
Right.
but actually, yeah, actually I sort of took this from one of Neil's lessons where on the flat we have 2 minutes recovery. But actually by the end it was very clear that 2 minutes was absolutely right amount of time, and everybody had a really good time. I filmed it. It was about, I would say probably 30-40 metres.
And it was quite a steady incline, wasn't it?
Yes.
So not too steep. So it wasn't like you were doing it on Cotsgrove or Manor Road, or
No.
it was actually one of the more gentle slopes over on Souston Common.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. It really reminded me why I am a run leader.
Okay.
So I get to do different things. And the other thing I really enjoyed was the 2 minutes rest, where we got to talk about lots of different things. A bit about stride by stride, bit of a plug there,
Yep.
and about upcoming events and races. And I felt just really connected with the runners. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And did you get any decent feedback, mate?
Yes, I did. I asked for feedback, as always. A lot of people said they hated it, but thank you very much, and they would love to do it again.
You know what I
Standard
would say
response.
If I was there, don't you?
Yeah, I know,
would
but
say
this
I
is a
hate
family
you.
show.
I hate you,
Okay,
but I enjoyed it. Like you just said.
yep. I think that's a real testament of a good session.
Hill sprints are lonely on your own.
Yes.
They're real. I mean, I can, and I admit that, and I'm good at doing like tempo and threshold sessions and all that sort of stuff. But hills, because of the rest period in between them, I often find them quite complicated to engage with.
Yeah.
So doing them in a crowd is absolutely, those are the sessions at a club where you really get the benefit.
Yeah. And I kept the
Even if
move
you
in and sort
hated.
of, running up and down the road to keep warm. But it was really,
And no one actually hates you. They
No,
just
not
hate
at all.
you for that small moment.
yeah. But it was very enjoyable to sort of, I think, just to connect after the kind of the week I've had,
Yeah.
and sort of, yes, I'm actually doing something that people enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's probably a good place for us to now talk about your experience at the Newport Marathon.
Yes.
Josh, thanks for talking to me about your Newport Marathon stuff today. Just give us a bit of a background first in relation to your build-up for the Newport Marathon.
Okay, so my build-up for the marathon was all pretty good. I mean, I didn't run as many miles as maybe some other training blocks, and that's because I did the Brecon to Cardiff. So my average week of training probably was about 20 to 30 miles.
Okay.
And I did this because I have the strength in my legs, and I felt like I didn't need to push myself. My plan for the Newport Marathon was always to go for a PB. My PB was currently 4 hours 43, and I was running with Andre, and he was going to pace me, and I was going to go for it and break my PB. That was my number one plan. And the reason I wanted to talk to you about this today is, firstly, I do not want any sympathy, and I don't want anybody to look at me or treat me any differently. But basically, I have a few medical issues. Nothing major. I have something called Klinefelter syndrome, which basically means I have an extra chromosome more than anybody else. So
Yeah, XXY syndrome, isn't it? Yeah.
and then with that, I have some problems with I could have osteoporosis in the future, which is crumbling of the bones, which sort of makes your bones like Swiss cheese. But I've been taking medication for the last 10-15 years. So what happened really is last Tuesday I went to the gym. I came out of the gym feeling absolutely amazing. You know, like you do sometimes, you can do anything in the world. I went home, opened the front door, and my wife said that I'd received a letter from the hospital and it wasn't good. And this is every 5 years I have to have a bone density scan, which sort of looks at your bones and sort of calculates or looks and how you're doing. So in the past I've had sort of thinning of the bones in my lower back and just around the top of my hips, but the medication has been helping. But I had a scan about 6 weeks ago and they're saying that I have full osteoporosis in my lower back, and they were extremely worried about me and that I'd have to change my medication, which now looking back was a stupid thing to do before a marathon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal build up, isn't it? You know, but of course, you know, there's never a right time, is there?
So I started on the new medication last Wednesday, Thursday, and in the small print, you know, same with everything else, you know, 1 in 1,000 people could experience this or blah, blah, blah. So one of the medication is like a souped up vitamin D and vitamin C, which have to take 4 tablets a day. But with that, I'm not allowed to eat and drink for 8 hours. So that's okay for the morning one, because obviously I'll be asleep in the evening. But the afternoon one really started to affect when I could go for a run, because I like to eat before I go to clubbing or you know, do my training. So I was starting to struggle with that. And then I have another one that I take on a Friday where I'm not allowed to eat 8 hours before. I take a tablet and then I have to sit up or walk around the house for half an hour. And this one can affect 1 in 1,000 people with stomach cramps.
Gastrointestinal stuff, yeah.
So I took it on the Friday, felt fine, and then Friday night started to have stomach cramps. I knew straight away, something not quite right, because I don't really get ill. So this resulted in me having about 3 hours sleep on Friday evening, and then Saturday, when we did the podcast that didn't quite work out, I was in quite a bit of pain, but I thought running actually would help. And then Saturday night, the night before Newport, I had about 2 hours sleep, and I was seriously considering not running, which I was really upset about, because I'm an ultra runner and I'm incredibly pig-headed and stubborn. But what I decided to do...
And also you had that, you know, you had all that weight of expectation that you put on yourself, and also running with your mate.
I decided to not pull out, and that I would take Andre and William, because I was the driver. But I could barely drive on the way down there. I was in so much pain. Didn't really say anything. They bought me a coffee. I couldn't really drink it. Didn't say anything again. Got to the start line and felt great. The pain had gone. So I thought, well, I might as well just go for it. So started off really, really well. Everything was going fine. Was starting to build up a bit of a lead. But then at 10 miles, the pain started, and it was unbearable. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a good 15. And I can remember sort of at 12 miles thinking I might have to pull out, because it was so painful. I kept going, and I was just sort of counting off the miles. Still ahead of time. Around about 17 miles, there was a St John's ambulance, and I seriously considered sort of going in there, but I didn't. Stubborn. Then sort of just carried on, but it was sort of around about 23 miles. Andre's knee started to hurt. He turned to me and said, just go. And I was like, I can't go, I can't leave you. Start together, we're finished together. And then it was just all in the last mile, really. Had to stop. Felt really quite ill. and absolutely devastated that I wasn't going to get a PB, but you know, what do you do? And then the 4.5 hour pacer ran past me, which was crushing, and me and Andre, we walked to the finish line. And I thought, well, you know, I looked at my watch, I can do the sums, and I was, yeah, sort of did my London Marathon sort of time, crossed the line, pressed the stop button, and yeah, came up and said I'd done a PB.
Right, which is incredible. If you really think about that, is that you overcome quite a lot of adversity to get to that.
I did.
And you know, just the psychological blow that you had to begin with, and then obviously the physical symptoms. And what was keeping you going when you were in those moments? Was it just sheer kind of stubborn stoicism, or was it something else?
I just thought if I could just do another mile, I would get that PB.
Right. Okay.
And the sort of the.
So you were really compartmentalising.
Yeah. Okay. And I was just really looking forward to everybody saying, "Well done, you did it." Yeah. And then when I did get the PB, I just felt I didn't really deserve it.
Right. Okay.
Because it was such a horrible race and not what I thought.
How do you feel about it now? Because obviously you've had a time to reflect.
I still feel that it's not the race I wanted.
No.
But people say it's a PB and
PB's
well done.
Yeah.
But I still feel, it's not really what I wanted. I didn't cross the line and go, yes, amazing. I crossed the line and felt
strong.
I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah. I suppose people do put quite a lot of weight on finishing strong, don't they?
Yeah.
But I think we certainly need to acknowledge, don't we, the fact that actually, regardless of all those circumstances, you still got a PB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to sort of share it with you. If there's anybody else out there with osteoporosis, having strong muscles and doing what you love for as long as you can is really great.
And of course running's great for people with osteoporosis because that impact actually lays down fresh bone tissue.
It does.
So sorry, that's the lay way of expression.
Yeah.
I can actually give you the science, but I'm not going to.
No.
It's all to do with osteoclast production in your bone marrow. So what you do want to do is you do want to do that impact. So you're doing all the right stuff, aren't you, mate?
Yeah. But I just wanted to, I don't want any. If you know me, come up to me, talk to me, but I don't want any sort of how you doing, sympathy. That's not why I'm sort of telling you what's going on. It's just maybe there might be somebody out there who could relate, maybe.
Oh, of course, and that's often why we talk about these things and have an open nature about talking about things, because there's someone else out there. So let's congratulate you because you do deserve that. It's well done, mate.
Thank you.
And hopefully this tale will help other people.
Hope so. Hope so. Thank you, Martin.
Thanks, Josh, for sharing that with us today.
You're welcome.
And obviously Newport Marathon, very flat marathon in South Wales, and it's hosted around about second to third week of April, which is good because it used to be the last marathon on the circuit in May. So if you were training for it, everyone else had run their marathon already and you're still there plodding away. Probably for some people, you would have been doing your long run when they were actually doing the marathon. So
crazy.
So club championship, we've had Gloucester Half recently, which was an absolutely phenomenal race.
It was.
Where we had lots of PBs.
Tons.
Just all of them, I think, is probably the right way. We're going to try and list them. So Ian Leonard, 116,
117,
117, something around there.
Came 21st overall.
Yeah, and first in his age group.
Amazing, well done, Ian.
Some dodgy geezer called Martin Lewis. Did it in 123, 45, 41, sorry. Almost took 4 seconds off my time.
Still an amazing achievement.
Top 50 finish, so nice. And we had Adrian was next, not in a PB, but did really well. He paced it absolutely perfectly to what he wanted to get. Then we had Brian Adamson, who did his first half marathon in 1989. has been trying to get under 90 minutes ever since,
And he
and
did
has
it.
finally managed it, which is so big. Congratulations to him.
Well
Great
done,
run.
mate. Well done.
1:29:21, I think, something like that. And PBs also for Alan, Alison, Simon Wood.
Yep. Abbie's husband.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about that.
Really?
Heard about
he's
it.
not told you about
Really?
No,
He's so modest, Simon, isn't he?
he is. Haley,
that. Hayley got one, Leslie got one,
yeah.
and also good runs from lots of people on the day, including you, Abbie.
Yep.
And I know you found that day quite tough. It's quite warm, wasn't it?
It was.
It was.
I was a bit dehydrated as well, so
Let's go over to the bench.
we rushed to the start because we thought the car park at the shopping centre was going to be open because it was last year,
Right.
and it wasn't, so we had to park elsewhere, so I didn't have my electrolyte drink, and just went out the window really, but there we are.
Good learning.
Okay.
Yeah, don't give your husband your drink in his bag that he's then going to go and put in the thing as soon as you get there. Don't wait until you get there to have your drink, do it all morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Good stuff to learn from, isn't it? And it's annoying at the time. As annoying as it is, you can always draw on the things that don't work and
Yeah.
work out what you're going to do differently next time.
yeah,
Exactly.
You can't win them all.
No.
You can't, no.
I also
Boring
got
if you did.
Yeah.
a small PB that day.
Yeah, Josh, you've got a PB. Do you know what? It's because you're literally sinking in PBs at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
So that's why I forgot about that one.
Yep.
You did. What
Yeah.
did you get, mate?
I did it in 1:52, I think. So
7-minute PB.
7-minute PB.
That's
I
impressive.
really
mate.
enjoyed it. Felt so strong. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yes, it's a great race, isn't it?
Yeah, I really loved it.
It is a nice route.
Yeah, and super flat, but
Yeah.
with enough incline to actually use your different muscle groups.
Yep.
Yep.
I found because Newport very flat,
Very flat.
stupidly flat. I think it's the flattest marathon in the world.
Really?
Yeah, or second. What is up there amongst the flattest marathons?
Don't think it's one I'll do again
No,
because of the 2-loop
it's
system.
a double loop, isn't it?
Oh,
It never
okay.
used to be. They used to go all the way out to Redwick and Magor, around that sort of area, but I think they changed it post-COVID to 2 loops, and that meant that they could do a half marathon. I don't think they do a half marathon anymore, do they?
Very busy.
Just 10k and a.
No, they did
Marathon.
a half marathon.
Oh, it was a half as
My cousin's wife did it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went at the same time as
I
us.
think they do a
Okay.
10k.
And then the
as well.
10k goes 45 minutes after.
Right. Okay. God, it's a busy day, isn't it?
Yeah, it
There's
was.
a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of people there.
Yeah. So that was Gloucester Half, and we got marathons going on as part of the club championship at the
Yep.
moment. And we have also got Barclay 10k
Next
27th. 27th?
Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday. So lots going on there. Abbie, did you get involved with the club championships?
I did a bit more last year than I have this year. I obviously did Gloucester, which is one of them. Simon's done more of them this year because obviously we can't both go to all of them.
No.
Sometimes we do because my parents might have the kids, or in the summer we might bring them along. But we've sort of agreed that Simon will get first dibs this year because I think ultra and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Different
maybe I could
priorities.
do it like next year.
Yep.
A bit
Yeah.
more.
And Simon's doing well. You know.
Yeah, he's doing.
Yeah, I just
Got to take your hat off to him.
and actually, he's been. Has he got a mathematical background?
Yeah. He was very good at maths at school.
Yeah,
and he did.
I can tell.
Yeah.
He went to uni and did astrophysics.
Oh,
Okay.
He didn't finish because he changed and did something else. But yeah, he is quite
But
mathematical.
he's strategic.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
So strategic. I mean, he's. I think he's trying to maximise his bonus points this year.
Oh,
Absolutely.
He is,
That's all
Yeah.
he's doing, and he's been really cagey. So he's not done what I've done, which is absolutely obliterate my half marathon PB, just to think, okay, well I've got it, and then oh man, there's 2 more half marathons this year,
Yeah.
which I could have got a PB at if I'd only just beaten my PB.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely went out and blew it out of the water. Similarly with you, Josh.
Yeah.
But Simon, no, I'm going to beat it by 3 seconds or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. I don't know if he's doing the Chippenham one because I'm doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
But he has signed up for some of the 10Ks and stuff. So yeah, he's doing.
That's where his sort of his strength is, though, isn't it? He can knock out a good 10k.
He's come on really well. The
He
first
has.
time he did Bristol 10K a couple of years ago now, and he looked like he was dying by the time he got to the finish, and did it in like 50 something minutes, and then now he's
Flying.
smashing them now.
He is.
He just seems to go, and he's
I
doing well.
I can see his progression because he goes in the long group,
Yeah.
and I think obviously that's almost 10k on a Tuesday
He
night.
used to do cross country at school and was good at it. So
Yeah.
I think it's.
Oh, now you tell us. It's like,
So did I, but I'm not
Yeah.
doing cross country now.
Yeah.
You should probably mention the excellent run-in from the three ladies yesterday.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Bringing you up to date. So that was Westonbirt Half Marathon,
It
Westonbirt
was, yeah.
House Half Marathon,
Yeah.
not Westonbirt Arboretum Half Marathon, which always confuses me.
Yeah, me too.
And wow, we got so
Three
Joe was
ladies.
second in a
Second.
PB.
Yep.
129 something or other, low 29s I think it was, probably 11 I want to say, and she came second. Emily Pitcher came in third, about 2 minutes behind her.
Yeah, amazing.
Actually Joe was only 40 seconds behind the lead woman.
I think that's
Yeah, it was really
the
close.
first time Joe's got under 90
90
minutes.
minutes,
as well,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
first time she broke
Amazing.
the barrier.
Yeah.
And then Nicola Runke was sixth, I think.
Yeah.
So we had three in the top 10.
Amazing.
Yeah, brilliant running. So,
Obviously, Andre did it as well, didn't he?
He did. I think he got a
So it
good
was
time.
cold.
Yeah, cold.
He did do a marathon last weekend, though.
He did.
I mean, which is really impressive to go out and like turn over. It was a half marathon 15 minutes quicker than he wanted to do, which he was pacing for.
Yeah.
So that's a double-edged sword. Number one, well done. But number two, why didn't you pace it better? Because you were supposed to be running at 15 minutes slower.
Yeah.
Which is what a coach might say, or
Yeah.
they might say.
If
"Well
he
done,
was
mate."
coaching me, that's what he would have said.
With it, okay.
He would have correct. He would have said, "Well done, you did amazing, but you didn't stick to the plan."
Didn't stick- what have I told you about plans?
Yeah.
They rarely happen.
He'll be laughing
Um,
now when he listens
yeah.
to this.
So which is great, and it brings us up to date with all the things that's going on in the club. Abbie, do you have like a bogey distance? Is there one distance that you think, okay, that really, I don't like it. It doesn't stick with me very well. It's something that I dislike. I have one, but
Okay.
Oh, everyone says 10K, but I would actually disagree because I prefer running that little bit faster and pushing myself for a time than going slower for like a half marathon. I'm not actually very good at my version of a slow run
Yeah.
and pacing, so I start off way too fast every time and then sort of blow up.
try and hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Which works on a 10k.
yeah, because you can hold it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's the aim, isn't it? Is that you go out and try and hold that pace for
Yeah.
as long as you can.
Yeah.
Which is why I hate it.
Yeah, and then yes, I hate it while you're doing it, but I also like the fact that I am pushing myself, and it feels like, oh my god. And although there's part of me going, oh my god, what are you doing? Slow down or stop. I actually can't. So
No.
you just keep.
Because you're just thinking it's only an
Going.
hour, isn't it?
Yeah. So. In a way, all distances, but no distance either, because they're all challenging in their
Yeah.
own ways.
Different ways.
Yeah.
It's been amazing having you on. But before we let you go, what's your top 3 bits of advice for
Anybody.
anything?
Anybody.
Well, it can't be anything.
No,
It's
let's
not
have
like-
for
not like what
mums.
to do in the snow.
Mum's running, yeah.
Mum's running.
One, join a club, obviously.
Oh.
And definitely, if you're in the area, join Emerson's Green.
Absolutely. Listen
Um,
to our podcast as well.
Exactly. Although I would say, if you're a female and you fancy running with just women, do something like this woman run, because that's also a really good one that got me started back running. Just find time, whether it's 10 minutes to go for a run or 20 minutes. Take the kids with you if you have to. I take my son to park run sometimes, and
Bonk him on the side.
Yeah.
no, he
He
runs
comes
with
with you.
Amelia will be on the side, maybe with Simon. He'll come because now he thinks that because he's done a couple of run walks, I should say, at the park runs. That
Oh,
he
right.
now
So
can
he's like
run
a
5.
professional runner.
Yeah, he won't do the junior one anymore. Third bit of advice: if you can, tag team with someone like I do with Simon.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, everyone's got their own situation, so you might not have a husband or a partner or whatever, but maybe a friend, parent, relative, whatever, who can maybe.
Yeah.
Or buddy, like someone that you where actually, if there was a group of you, I know I'm thinking about this. It's a group of 4 people that I know who do that, but they're all single. And
Okay.
what they do is they go in pairs, and the other 2
That's a
cover
really
with their
good
children,
idea.
so they
Oh,
go
nice.
in pairs. It's a really
Wow,
nice way of doing it.
Or get a
so
buggy.
or get a buggy,
Yeah.
yeah, just run with them, like
Yeah.
actually push them along. But if you get that buddying system, then you've got someone that you can go running with, and someone who's also
Yeah.
looking, and they mix it up so they don't always run with the same
Yeah.
people.
Well,
which
that's
you can
good, isn't
do,
it?
You know.
I do see people when they've got kids who are older who will go out on their bike.
Yeah.
And go with them.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that as well.
I'm aiming for that when the kids can cycle.
Yeah,
They'll
that'd
do
be
it with
nice.
me, so
Something
that'd
to
be
look
nice.
forward to.
Yeah. Plus, you can always take the bike off them, being a parent.
Exactly, they can run and I can do
Yeah.
get on their
Yeah.
bike.
That's it. Like
Mum
their
rules.
basket.
Yeah.
I've had enough like ET.
Yeah. Hey, what are you saying?
That was my last attempt to try and make you swear. We're going to stop that there. Yeah, thank you, Abbie. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. We are. We were going to talk about London Marathon, weren't we?
Yes.
London.
We'll do that very, very
Yeah.
quickly before we leave. We have got some people running London Marathon next weekend.
We have.
And Club Place went to Dave Webb. Not that we would know about that.
No,
because
he's been very quiet about it.
Yeah, very, very shy and retiring.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not at all. And he's had a really good training block.
He's done very well. And we've also got Anna Meek
Yeah.
running it.
She's had a great training block as
Yep,
well.
brilliant.
Which is good because she's off the back of a heavy ultra gear, isn't she?
She is, yep.
So that's a big switch, actually.
It is a big switch.
Not
I
to
think
be
she
underestimated.
got her own trainer for this one just to help her, and done a lot of strength training as well.
Yeah, grand.
So yeah, I'm be really interested to see what
See
kind of
what
time she does and
yeah.
stuff.
There must be other people running it.
Wendy.
Wendy.
Can't forget Wendy and all her charity stuff.
Yeah, so did you go to the quiz?
Simon went.
Oh, okay.
He
All right.
won it.
He
Well,
won
his
it.
team won it, didn't they?
Yes, he did.
Well, of course.
Was he with Paul as well, Paul Griffiths?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a
I ended up
bank of
I
knowledge.
Is
ended
there
up with the trophy on my pillow.
Championship points for that?
No.
No, it'd be disappointed.
Just bragging rights. But Wendy's raised, I think, about 1,700 quid. I think she needed to raise about 1,400
Yeah.
for friends of.
Staple Hill.
Is it Staple Hill Park? No, it's Page Park.
Page
Friends
Park.
of Page Park in Staple Hill. So she's done really well.
Haley is doing it
Haley's
as well.
doing it.
Haley's doing it. Yep.
Is William doing it or did he just do Newport?
He just did Newport.
Okay, it's not London.
So yep, that's it.
So yeah, we so good luck to all of those people
Yeah.
running out there, and indeed anyone who's running any of the other marathons. That are
Absolutely.
coming, which because we're coming to the end of marathon season now.
Yeah.
Which was part of the club championship. So if anyone from club who wants to get points for running a marathon distance beyond next week, they have to do it as a virtual marathon, which is fine because that's what I'm doing. Right, we are going to leave it there though.
We are.
For today, and thank you, Abbie. I've been Martin,
I've been Josh.
and you've been listening to Stride by
That's
Stride.
right.